The 2025 season positions the NFC North as the most challenging division in the NFL, not only because of the level of talent, but also due to the tactical demands of each matchup. In this scenario, the Minnesota Vikings are not entering as a gamble or an unknown factor. Instead, they come in with a structured plan built since the offseason, focused on fixing deficiencies exposed in the wildcard round and building a more physical, deeper, and functional roster across both lines. While Detroit tries to maintain its success without its main coordinators, Green Bay relies on Jordan Love's development, and Chicago begins a transition with a new head coach and a quarterback under pressure. The Vikings arrive with a stable foundation, a solid system, and key adjustments at critical positions. And it all starts in the trenches. But why does this shift the direction of the division? Stay tuned for the video to understand why Minnesota is more prepared than ever to claim the NFC North Championship title. Minnesota went to the market with conviction. After watching Sam Darnold get sacked 9 times in a historic embarrassment against the Los Angeles Rams in the wild-card round, the Vikings general manager understood that the transformation could no longer be cosmetic. Nearly $300 million were invested. The additions of Ryan Kelly at center on the offensive line, Will Freeze as guard, and rookie Donovan Jackson, selected in the first round, restructured the interior unit that had been an easy target for inside blitzes and quick pressures. For McCarthy, who is now the starting quarterback, these additions open up space for a functional ground game, something the Vikings lacked in 2024 when they finished in 26th place in yards per carry. With Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason sharing the backfield, Minnesota restores balance to its offense. This new setup is especially critical for a quarterback like McCarthy, who, despite his pedigree, is technically entering the league as a rookie in the NFL. He didn't play a single snap in 2024 due to a knee injury, but he was in meetings, absorbed Kevin O'Connell's system, and witnessed firsthand Sam Darnold's unexpected rise. Now, the environment is built to minimize mistakes and highlight his strengths: timing on crossing routes, quick recognition in zone coverage schemes, and accurate ball placement on intermediate throws. But it's on defense that the Vikings create a turning point that neither the Lions, Packers, nor Bears can replicate with the same consistency. Under Brian Flores' leadership, the team built a defensive line that blends proven production with rotational depth. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, despite being veterans, continue to be disruptive forces capable of collapsing the pocket from the inside. Jonathan Greenard and Andrew Van Ginkel complete the front, while Dallas Turner, a first-round pick in 2024, enters his second year with less pressure and a more specific role as a situational pass rusher. It's this level of rotation that allows Flores to maintain constant tactical variations, switching between disguised pressures and packages with 5 rushers without sacrificing coverage.
In the 2023 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select defensive back from USC, Mekhi Blackmon.
The return of Blackmon from an anterior cruciate ligament injury, along with the retention of Byron Murphy and the arrival of Isaiah Rodgers, softens the impact of Cam Bynum and Stephon Gilmore's absences, and brings new life to the secondary, one of the team's few weaknesses in 2024. This quiet reconstruction of the defensive unit could be the difference maker when the division's offenses are firing at full speed. Before diving deeper into how Minnesota can win the NFC North in 2025, it's important to briefly examine the current landscape of the division's rival teams.
Intercepted! Van Ginkel! Down the...
And then take a closer look at why the Vikings are in a unique moment that could push them to the top. On the other side of the rivalry, the Detroit Lions carry the weight of having won 15 games last season, while losing their entire defensive and offensive coaching backbone. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson now coaches the Bears. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn is with the Jets. The new play caller John Morton does not inspire confidence. His last stint as an offensive coordinator was with the Jets in 2017, when his unit finished among the worst in the league in yards and points scored. And although the roster remains talented, led by names like Gibbs, David Montgomery, and Brown, the uncertainty surrounding the offense raises concerns heading into 2025. After announcing his retirement in June 2025, Frank Ragnow left a concerning void at center on the offensive line. His absence exposes a critical weakness in the unit, which now needs immediate addressing to maintain team stability and performance. With Jared Goff under center, a quarterback who relies on pocket cleanliness to operate efficiently, the youth along the interior offensive line could prove fatal. The stretch of road games against opponents like Kansas City, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and the Vikings themselves on Christmas Day will test this group like never before. In Green Bay, the focus is on continuity. Jordan Love leads a team that had one of the most efficient offenses in yards per attempt, but it was held back by a high number of dropped passes and inconsistent pass protection. The arrival of rookie receiver Matthew Golden is promising, as well as the addition of Aaron Banks along the offensive line. However, the void in the cornerback group following Jaire Alexander's departure is noticeable. McKinney is an elite safety, but he can't cover the whole field alone. And in a division where opposing offenses feature wideouts like Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, and Brown, that defensive weakness could be severely tested. This structural vulnerability in coverage could be the downfall of a project that continues to rely on individual flashes to stay afloat. The Packers' defense, which showed signs of improvement under defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley in 2024, still needs to prove it can consistently pressure the quarterback. Defensive lineman Lucas Van Ness remains a question mark. The front seven lacks a dominant anchor, and the absence of a reliable pass rusher makes it difficult to sustain a coverage-based defense without being able to shorten the opponent's quarterback's time in the pocket. Chicago, for its part, is riding the excitement around Ben Johnson's arrival. But even the most creative coach needs time. Caleb Williams ended last season with 68 sacks, a brutal number even for a rookie. Although the team heavily invested in the offensive line with additions like Joe Thuney, Jonah Jackson, and Drew Dahlman, chemistry doesn't develop overnight. The defense also lost key pieces, Grady Jarrett, to generate pressure within a system still in transition. With an extremely tough schedule and multiple road games against elite teams, Chicago may be more competitive, but its ceiling for 2025 still appears lower than Minnesota's. At this point in the analysis, based on what has been rebuilt from a technical standpoint and projected through film breakdown of the rosters, the Vikings are the team with the smallest margin for negative fluctuation. Their defensive system has identity and the personnel to execute it. The offense has been upgraded at critical points, interior line and backfield depth. And the coaching staff, led by Kevin O'Connell, has proven capable of maximizing quarterbacks who arrived with little confidence around them. The core that won 14 games in 2024 is back, stronger, deeper, and with a clear plan. With the foundation in place and clear pillars established on both sides of the trenches, the true turning point for the Vikings in 2025 will be situational execution. In the past 2 seasons, the team struggled to convert long third downs and was punished at crucial moments by avoidable sacks. The new interior offensive line not only projects solid protection, but also allows greater versatility in calling quick pass and play-action plays. 2 scenarios where McCarthy demonstrated efficiency in college, using anticipatory reads and precise movement within the pocket. If the interior protection remains stable, red zone efficiency is expected to rise, reducing reliance on field goals and increasing the margin for control in tighter games. Another underrated but crucial technical factor will be the performance of the defensive front in the first 15 seconds after the snap. In tape reviews under Brian Flores' system, Minnesota showed a high rate of immediate impact, collapsing pockets or forcing lateral movement from quarterbacks in packages that used 5-man pressure. Against less mobile quarterbacks like Jared Goff and Caleb Williams, this approach creates territorial advantage and discomfort. The rotation between Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, combined with interior blitzes coming from the second level, challenges pre-snap protections and puts pressure on inexperienced centers like Tate in Detroit or Elgton Jenkins, now repositioned in Green Bay. On the flip side, what tactically sets Minnesota apart is its ability to incorporate downfield elements in the passing game without relying solely on big plays. Justin Jefferson remains a threat on any route, but it's the presence of Jordan Addison and the potential emergence of a third receiver, whether a dynamic tight end or slot option, that unlocks McCarthy's progression-based decision-making. With pocket time and well-tuned protection schemes, McCarthy will be able to exploit gaps in Green Bay's zone coverages and force unfavorable matchups against less physical corners like Nate Hobbs, who now plays for the Packers. When analyzing the schedule, the importance of the middle weeks stands out, where Minnesota will face elite opponents such as Philadelphia and Baltimore. These games expose any execution flaws but also serve as direct preparation for the crucial divisional matchups, like the Christmas Day showdown against the Lions. Playing at home in that game, with the atmosphere favoring Brian Flores' defense, the Vikings will have the opportunity to apply constant pressure on Goff, limiting his decision-making time and forcing mistakes on intermediate routes, the core of the Lions' offensive production. This matchup could act as a turning point in the race for the division lead. Compared to the rest of the division, the Vikings benefit from not carrying the weight of deep schematic transitions like Detroit, not relying solely on quarterback development like Chicago, and showing more structural consistency than Green Bay. On tape, what stands out is not just individual talent, but how the pieces fit into a cohesive system. Quick pressure on opposing quarterbacks, a balanced ground game, and efficient execution on third downs. It's this combination of factors that sustains long playoff runs and divisional dominance. The Minnesota Vikings no longer need to prove they have the roster to compete. That was clear in 2024. The question now is about consistency, execution, and tactical dominance in key moments. With a refreshed core, upgrades at the right positions, and a system already proven to sustain high-level performances even without an established quarterback, Minnesota enters the season as the best-prepared team to take control of the NFC North. No need for magical formulas or last-minute wildcard chases. The path is clear and the pieces are in place. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.